Hey guys, Chaos Master here, back for more I almost said Kingdom Hearts. Trails of Cold Steel. This is not exactly where we last left off. I know we were supposed to be on the train, but there is something here that I had forgotten to pick up. See, we go back in here, and then we go talk to Prana. Oh yes, please take this book with you for your journey. It's apparently quite the interesting read, so I'm hoping it'll help the long train ride. Like, I didn't remember if I actually did show that off, and I'm pretty sure I didn't. So that's one reason I chose to reload it here. Is there anything like unique we can speak of here? To get the thing long and hard. Yep. And last night, Okay, then yeah. Lady Lord, we already know about the food. Yep, bye-bye. So in a lifetime too, so don't worry about that. Still not really sure what happened back at the castle, but maybe it was tiniest today. Yep. I was just skimming. And I say we rest at the inn again so that I can restore my CP. Alright, so now we just get back on the train again. Oh, whoops. I always keep fucking doing that. Oh, and also, I completely forgot to try to go through the rundown of what exactly a Nosferatu and probably what a lot of other bosses do, despite me saying that I was going to try to cover everything. And I apologize for that. So what I'm ultimately going to be doing in regards to that is I will just be leaving. I will be watching the older videos of when I fought bosses and just try to hear if I actually did give any commentary, and then I'll just leave like a description or anything of what they did in the comments. Either that or I probably won't bother. I'm not too sure. Probably, yeah, I won't be talking about exactly what they are capable of doing, per se. As much as well, no, yeah, I'll stay, I'm not too sure, because I feel like I don't need to, because, you know, this is New Game Plus and everything, but and it's just kind of harder to say, like, you know, hey, this boss fight is tough when I'm showing how easy, when I can just end them so quickly. So I think I probably won't be doing that much of a description for the most part. You guys will just need to see the fight, and you know, it just deals with a threat, because honestly the only real thing with the Nosferatu was just being captured and having a party member lose their HP every so often, and then other party members being hit with sleep. That's honest, or not, or hit with sleep and hit with being paralyzed. That's really about it. honestly. For that was honestly it for that fight. Oh, whoop. I didn't pay that much attention to the cap before. But yeah, most of the fights are just so linear, if you will, like, you know, most of it you just gotta know the status effects and their attack and what they do for attacks. That's about it. I mentioned only a certain few that I had dealt with. I only mentioned a few boss fights that had something unique, like those two, the two Donovans, because, well, we got through them really fast, so you never got to know their pattern. I don't know, I probably will still look into all the other ones I used to fight, all the other ones, and just leave it as, and just leave in the comment section about what exactly they can do, or anything like that. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'm not 100% certain what my actual plan is, but I don't think I will. To be fair, I'm leaning more to, you know, not even bothering to talk about it, because it's honestly just, you know, equip everyone with special equipment to avoid status effects. That's honestly about it. Really. Anyway. You know, honestly, I probably will just lean towards not doing anything else with it, you know? You know, like, I already said what I could, and it showed all that's really needed to be known. To be perfectly honest, that's all I can really say about the matter. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too sure about the whole boss fight information I'll be talking about. I will be giving it to a couple of the ones that are coming up, honestly, because they're going to be a bit longer. But other than that, there's not much else I can really tell you other than having equipment that could be like, you know, avoid certain status effects. Which you'd know just from watching how I fought. You know, certain boss fights. That's about it. Or how certain bosses are, that's really about it. Sound like quite an eventful couple of days too, yeah. Though I find it kind of hard to believe you could have seen the ghost of Leanne's Sandlot. That's ridiculous. Are you sure you weren't just hallucinating or something? You can think whatever you like. We totally saw her, I swear. Well, ghost or not. There was definitely someone there besides us. Anyway, that's enough about ghosts and spirits for the time being. I'm more concerned about the affairs of the living, like where Tolval and the Radiant Blade Master went. Sounds like Duke Cayenne is up to something too, and he's not someone we can afford to take lightly. We didn't run into anything like that in the Jurai Special Economic Zone. Though I guess that makes sense, seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial Government and not a noble. I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah. The Empire stitched it on nice and neat, without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seemed like a pretty lively place. And the revenue generated from taxes there goes directly to the Imperial Government's coffers, instead of the pockets of the nobility. It's hardly a mystery why the Reformists think so highly of it. Well, that aside, I'm a little concerned about the upcoming trade conference in Crossbell. Same goes for the Imperial Liberation Front. They've been awfully quiet since that show they put on last month. Now that you mention it, that does seem rather suspicious. Is that related somehow to why we're going to Gaurellia Fortress? Well, it's not the main reason, but it's not entirely unrelated. I'll let you look forward to finding out all about it when we get to the fortress itself. Anyway, how many of you have passed through Gaurellia Fortress by train before? I see. Just us, huh? I can't wait to see everyone's first reactions. True. Huh? Why is that? Well, I've seen it in photographs at least. A camera can't really capture how ridiculous it is. Yep. It's supposed to be this macho gateway to the Empire, but it just seems like it's trying way too hard. Dude. What's that supposed to mean? The gateway to the Empire in one of the largest military bases in the country. I look forward to the chance to see it in person then. I really gotta turn the background music down just so we can hear the doo. According to my race, 7 years later, it's finally time to pass through Gaurellia Fortress. The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. The next stop is Gaurellia Fortress. The train will stop for 5 minutes. Please beware. Only authorized personnel. That all photography is strictly prohibited within the fortress and is punished by imperial law. Any attempt to That was it sounded pretty severe for a train announcement. Well, we are passing through a military facility. I don't think they're being unreasonable. You really think that's the issue here? I'm not sure having that be one of the first things foreign visitors here gives a very good impression of the country. Oh, we're finally here. What in idio's name is that? This is why I turned turbo mode off. Eastern border, Gaurellia Fortress. This place is fucking massive. And I get it's supposed to be a fortress, but you know, holy hell. The scale is just... This is Gaurellia Fortress? This entire place is built from iron and concrete? Just how much money has the army dumped into building all of this? Yep, that was about as entertaining as I'd hoped. Not that I'm surprised. I thought the same things when I first saw it. From the crossbow side, all you can see is a cliff though. Yeah, but those 2 railway guns still poke out through it. Hey instructor, why did you bring us out here to show us? What else? We're here so you can see the true essence of what makes an army, what comprises the military strength and forms its foundation. And what other place in the Empire has that on display as clearly as here? True. Who are they? Engineers and tradesmen, mostly. You'll see a lot of them around here. Keeping a fortress this size up and running is a full-time job for more than just the military's people. So it seems. It's almost like its own town here. Sorry. On the other side of this fortress, it's more or less a straight shot to Crossbow City, right? To think that such a bustling center of trade is so close to a massive military facility like this. Yeah, Crossbow City only... Crossbow City's only about 30 minutes away by train. From the top of the fortress, you can even see the skyscraper where the trade conference is going to take place. I apologize.
Oh. Instructor Neidhart!
Good morning, Major Neidhart. Instructor Ballestein of Thors Military Academy, homeroom teacher for Class VII, reporting the arrival of myself and all students in my care.
Acknowledging your arrival at 11:30 hours. Welcome to Gaurellia Fortress. In addition to my teaching duties at the Academy, I hold the rank of Major in the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I'll be acting as your guide, as well as your instructor for special lectures during your time here at the fortress. Now, if you'll follow me...
Yeah, this is where we'll be staying in Gaurellia Fortress. It is not that surprising how much of a downgrade it is to everywhere else we've been, since it's a fucking military camp. No, military base, I just say. I don't know why it's camp. Like, what? Including today, you have 2 days remaining in this month's field study. However, we won't be assigning you any tasks during that time. Instead, you'll be participating in a series of special lectures and a field trip. A field trip? Here? What exactly does that entail, instructor? At 1400 hours today, a joint military exercise will be taking place at Gaurellia's proving ground. The 4th and 5th Armored Divisions will both be participating. And you will be observing it. We're gonna watch a military exercise? The 4th Armored Division, huh? The 4th Armored Division is led by none other than Elliot's dad, Lieutenant General Olaf Craig. By all accounts, it's one of the strongest armored divisions in the Imperial Army. And did you know our friend the Major here is their most promising young member? It's true. Moving on. As I said, you'll be observing this exercise, not actively participating. I imagine that has some of you feeling rather relieved, doesn't it? It does sound like a pretty easy assignment after all. But we'll see how many of you feel the same after experiencing it for yourselves. That's all for me. It's currently 11:50 hours. Lunch has been prepared for you in the mess hall. I'd advise you all to eat. Your field trip isn't something to be undertaken on an empty stomach. This is true. So, this food. We have salty corned beef, and I think I'm getting a hint of peas from this soup. You could use this bread as a lethal projectile. I do think it wouldn't have hurt to use a few more herbs, or flavors in general. Calling this edible would be generous. Don't forget what you guys are. I've heard plenty of rumors about the food they serve in the Imperial Army, but I wouldn't have guessed they'd all be true. I didn't think the food that they served in the mess hall at Zendergate was all that bad, though. I don't think it would kill them to serve something a little more appetizing. It is the exact same thing they served when I came here with my class last year. Probably from the same batch too, by the look of it. Really brings back memories. I was pretty surprised the first time my dad brought me to eat here too. Huh, you guys really think it's that bad? It really brings back memories for me too. At least there's some cheese and an apple. Dude. The food served in the army makes use of common ingredients that are easy to preserve and store. The ingredients used to make all the food on your trays can be easily stockpiled in large quantities. So even if a war were to break out, a meal like this could still be served without any trouble. There you go. Ah, so that explains it. I see. So the army serves simple foods all the time to avoid the decrease in morale from wartime rationing? Well, not all the time. However, one can think of this food as a philosophical statement from the continent's strongest army, in the sense that it suggests that soldiers should live and work each day as though a war effort depends on them. Every day? So they should be just as tense during times of peace as during times of war. Well, it's a bit too much mind over matter idealism for my taste, but it's worth being aware of. And to throw a different perspective in the mix here, the food the provincial army serves is actually pretty good. Good enough that you can't help but wonder how they'd cope if a natural war were to ever break out. Well, it's not like serving good food means you have a crappy army. I hear our neighbor Liberal serves up some pretty tasty food in their army. Liberal's army is fairly elite. Probably because the threat of being neighbors to the Empire keeps them tense. I feel a little conflicted hearing you say that. Well, these things are all about finding a good balance. Variety is the spice of life, you know. If you eat nothing but dull, bland food all the time, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. I could do with fewer of your pithy, whatever, remarks in my diet, Instructor Valestein. Honestly, I wouldn't have given them shit. Like, I'd be sure I wouldn't like eating that food, don't get me wrong. But, you know, if times of war broke out and you need to eat that, then it's like, you know, hey, we're gonna fucking, you know, just fucking eat that food. Seems like you have to, anyway. You know what I mean? Anyway, as you heard, there's going to be a military exercise at the Proving Ground at 2 in the afternoon today. It's 12:30 right now, so you have an hour to do whatever you like. They'll make an announcement half an hour before, so be sure to listen for it and do whatever it tells you. Understood. When you say whatever we like, does that mean we can tour the fortress? Of course, you're welcome to roam around, as long as you don't poke your nose into any restricted areas. Sorry, I'm just really trying to get comfy. So go ahead and explore. There's plenty worth seeing here, like the command center. Though if you're feeling a little tired from your field study so far, you're welcome to rest in your rooms. It would be a shame to waste such a valuable opportunity. I suppose I should at least get a general overview of the fortress. Okay, this is gonna keep bugging the fuck out of me. Why I'm not getting so comfy. I'm actually gonna plug in my damn heating pad, so give me like a minute or so, guys. I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back. It took a little longer than I had hoped for. That was because just finding the stupid thing. So I forgot it wasn't in the same room as I originally had it before. So yeah, that happened. It's all good now. Oof. Burp there. Now, the only thing we gotta do is just pretty much talk to everyone. Like, complain about the food some more. That was just a welcome meal of sorts. It's not like we serve food like that every day of the week. Just 6 days out of 7. Alright, it's just Rean right now, so I still want to rest up and fully restore my CP. Alright, let's see. Vendors are a military family entrusted with the protection of the Imperial family. They're also famous for their house's style of swordsmanship. A few of them serve in the Imperial Army, actually. You've got Lieutenant General Vander from the 3rd Armored Division, and there's apparently another Vander in the 7th. You should ask Major Neidhart more. I heard those two were classmates. Oh yeah, that one, yep. Sorry, I'm just still trying to position this right. I don't think I could. Whatever.
Right.
Military Academy, so what do you think of Gaurellia? I bet the food's pretty awful. Other than that, it's not a bad place to work. Oh, I don't doubt that at all. It's like, it clearly keeps you busy. It keeps you fucking busy, that's for sure.
Right.
Alright, so all we gotta do pretty much is talk to everyone else, so we'll talk. Oh yeah, Toval gave me a call about what happened in Legram. So you had a mechanical monster show up outside the city limits? Yeah. Toval looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him. You know anything about them? Well, I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. They go by the name Ouroboros. They're a secret society of sorts that acts in the shadows all across the continent. A secret society? We don't know how many members there are, what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them at all. What we do know is... What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes. And that they've been behind several crises that have threatened to shake the foundations of entire nation states. And these are the people who made those monsters? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd find it hard to swallow, but there's no denying what we saw out here. Well, you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call the mechanical monsters like the one you guys fought archaisms. And lately it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. There's been one sighting after another these days all over the Empire and beyond. Oh, that's heavy. Does that mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean. Well, that's the tricky thing about them. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know they put archaisms out in the wild purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind at least. Right, I'll be sure to let others know too. Alright, now I want to go here.
Here we go! Here we go!
Yeah, I want to turn that down on just a little. I just want to hear the, how loud the sound effects could be with this volume, and I think the music's perfectly fine.
Right.
Come on, why is my... The sad thing is, like, I'm getting cramps in my toes again, even though I stretched long... Like, I literally stretched right as I was... Like, right before I started recording this. And then I stretched again when I was trying to get my fucking heating pad, so what the fuck? Are you taking a rest, Emma? I did take a short walk around, but everything about this fortress is so imposing. Duh. It made me feel a little faint. I feel you there. Looking at Emma now, it's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through that castle. Rean? Nah, never mind. But there is one thing that's been bugging me lately, ever since we arrived in Legram. I feel like just out of the corner of my eye, I catch glimpses of this small black shadow following us. But ever since we got to the fortress, I haven't seen it. Really? Maybe you were possessed by something. Possessed? Yikes. That's kind of an unsettling thought. It is, isn't it? Phew. I'm glad I told her to go back when we reached Caldic. So fast I could see myself getting lost if I'm not careful. Bring it along. What is it? The soldiers here are seem pretty well trained, pretty well equipped too, like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You need to put in some serious prep time if you want to topple it. Fee, I'm not sure that's something you should say within the earshot of soldiers. Old habits die hard. I heard about the fortress from my father. Oops, shit. Fuck. I pressed circle on accident. Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy. If he's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive. Indeed, I feel like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being applied though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it. Yep. Here he's come to be considered blah blah blah. If I say so myself, I bet anything he flies right up the ranks. Ah yes, the weapon shop. Yeah, you can get this from here. And as you can see, you get Pandora here. Yeah, it sounds louder to me. Yeah, I need to get another massive wave like that. Right wing, da-da-da. Gaurellia Fortress, da-da-da. So you're the students who have come to tour the fortress. Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer's uniform. This is Lieutenant General Walter, commander of Gaurellia Fortress. He also serves as the division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor. Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Hardly built like a soldier, though. I have my doubts that you'd be able to endure the military's training regimen with a physique like that. You sure you're training them properly, Major? My apologies, sir. Though I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor, they must really be scraping bottom. I've heard of the Purple Lightning before, of course, but a bracer is still a bracer. Leaving such an important role in the hands of a civilian is ridiculous. The famous Thors isn't what it used to be. Dude, I heard it. It sounded louder. Well, no surprises here. It's like he fills in every box on the checklist for a stereotypical Imperial Army soldier. Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to Gaurellia. Keep in mind, though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way. Of course, sir. Very well. I'll take my leave here, as I have business to attend to. Whew, he's certainly strict. Well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defensive fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tensions between the Empire and the Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come at all. I won't forget it. Now I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. You're welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center. Of course, good luck with your work, instructor. I'll see you later then. Alright, now we can we'll try finding the rest of the crew. Oh, okay. Information to explore certain parts of the left wing of Rouse off limits. If there's any consolation, there's not much worth seeing in the right wing, to be honest. It's mostly just storage rooms. Okay, so there is no other way to get down there, so we leave it at that for now.
Right.
Alright, there was a pathway here. Hello. Seems like this is a hangar for tanks and armored cars. It's kind of staggering to see so many of them lined up in one place. We spent the whole night fitting the old tanks with C units for today's military exercise. Can you believe it? I've been at this all night without so much as a minute of shut-eye. Once this is done, I'm gonna sleep like no one's ever slept before. Oh man, I hear you there. You deserve that, dude. Lunch is waiting for me after this. I can hear it calling my name. Just gotta keep it up a bit longer. Bruh. Respect to these guys. Like this proves you gotta respect soldiers, man. Like, you know, that's a statement right there. You know. Respect the soldiers. Protect the soldiers. No, they're protecting us. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to also protect them when they need it. I'm not looking forward to this. You've never seen any military exercises before, right, Rean? Yeah, this will be my first time. I take it you have then? My dad showed me one the last time he brought me out here. Yeah, that... He really does want me to join the military, but... I really don't think I'll ever be suited for the way he is. For it the way he is. I get where you're coming from. The more I hear about his dad... the more curious I get. I'm not entirely sure how to feel. Seeing so many shits. What are they? I don't know how to say it. Fuck it. Yeah, line up like this. Rifle Company makes these, don't they? Unfortunately so. I'm sure they'll be using them for this military exercise too. As far as I can tell, they'll be pitted against the older automated models. That sounds pretty brutal. The older tanks won't stand a chance. Well, that's kind of the point. They want to show off just how easily the auctions can dominate them. Well, you don't get the chance to go eyes on with this stuff every day. I'll take the opportunity to see for myself just how competent they are. That's just like her. I'm just trying to see if I can still... if I can squeeze in the time. Oh, hello. Looks like this is the Fortress's airport. There might come a day when I find myself in the military airship. Crazy, it really is night and day. Yeah, it's hard to imagine two places more diametrically opposed. What's wrong with you two? Oh, we're just talking about how the different places to Jirai. Jirai was super lively, but this place? I think Crow's having withdrawals now that he's somewhere without easy access to casino all the time. Ha! I can imagine. It seems like everyone's talking about Jirai these days, though. Was it really that amazing? It was. I didn't know what to expect with the recent annexation by Erebonia, but everything looked fine to me. It has offices, an entertainment district, and all the people I saw were thoroughly enjoying themselves. I'd go as far as to say they're happy to be under the Imperial government's control. I don't know if I go that far. Oh? A little birdie told me Chancellor Osborne was the one behind the annexation in the first place. It also told me he used some pretty forceful tactics to get them to agree. And of course, most of their tax money takes a brand new detour straight into the Imperial government's pockets. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the annexation happen just to fatten his pocketbook. But it's in his duty. Pretty complicated issue. Okay. Well, I unfortunately don't have enough time for whoever else is left. So I'm gonna save the game and I'm gonna end this part here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe. All support is greatly appreciated. Next time we're gonna continue with our field study in Gaurellia Fortress. And yeah, so until next time guys, laters!